It's time.
Make it so.
It's me, Mario!
I'm Batman. Strong am I with the Force.
Are you telling me that you built a time machine out of a DeLorean?
You're a wizard, Harry.
And welcome to World War G, episode 134. I'm Troy.
I'm AJ.
Wow, 134. That means 34 weeks ago, we did our 100th episode.
It seems like just yesterday.
It does. It's really weird.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Well, I mean, there's only 52 weeks in a year, and since 100, we're already at 34. That's weird.
Troy's just reflecting, on life because he got called sir the other day.
I did.
I was telling you, it was kind of...
It's not fun.
No. Like, excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Do you need some help with that? And then you, quickly turn around to, argue with him, but, pull a muscle or something.
My back
pull
goes
a
out.
hammy, your back goes out.
Yeah.
Get help to the car. He's like, all right, thanks, whippersnapper.
Yeah. It's not fun getting sirred. And the kid wasn't that old. I think he was maybe 15, 16.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, oh, excuse me, sir. Like, really? I don't look that old, I don't think. But yeah. Guess I have to go buy a Lamborghini now and
A cane.
get divorced and find some young
like a couple of years younger than you?
Yeah. Guess I'm at my midlife crisis already.
Wow, you hit it pretty early.
Yeah.
Oh.
Apparently I'm only going to live to be about 64. All right.
Speaking of people that didn't live.
Oh, yeah. That was a good segue. Sorry.
Okay. Oh, it's all good.
Kind of botched that for you. 15 actors who died or got hurt for their roles.
That's dedication at its finest.
Yeah, these are actors who were on movie sets or TV sets, and they either died or got hurt. We're starting out on a positive note.
Yeah.
We want to make you feel good whenever you're listening to this. So number 15. Vic Morrow died while filming the Twilight Zone movie. Now, this is on YouTube.
Yeah.
His accident. You can go watch it.
Everything's on YouTube.
Yeah. I was just before you came over, I was watching vets pull parasites out of kittens' noses.
Oh, I can't watch those videos.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. Or when they have the pus videos or... as far as I can go with YouTube videos, I don't mind it so much when athletes are going along and they get injured and you see their leg just go backwards or they're lifting weights. I mean, it hurts, but I can watch it. But those pus and nose things.
See, I'm the exact opposite.
Really?
Yeah. I can't watch bones and stuff get broken.
Yeah.
That, no.
But you're cool with
oh yeah.
world's biggest zit.
Yeah, because I think, it's just, I think of it, I guess, scientifically, I suppose.
I'm getting
it's
sick just thinking about this.
It's just like an infection under the skin. And, it's when you start breaking it down scientifically, it's really not that gross.
Worst mistake I ever made was just before, the night before going in for surgery. The doctor had recommended, oh, hey, why don't you watch this, the process that they're going to do on you.
Yeah, you don't want to.
Yeah, I watched it and then I was freaked out. It didn't help that the nurse actually, when I was lying on the, on the bed or stretcher.
She said, oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
That's not normal.
No, he actually came in and he's just like, now which leg are we working on? Wrote in a permanent marker on my leg, which that was fine. But no, I was lying there. And then she was putting all these, because you're really kind of cold, sitting on this table. So she puts all these blankets on you, but she happened to put a blanket over my head. And I'm like, I'm not dead yet.
No, wait, stop.
And then she pulled it back down and she's just like, oh, I'm really sorry about that. Let's not joke about that.
Force of habit. Sorry.
Yeah, I can't help it. I'm the kind of guy that laughs at a funeral.
Yeah. I don't remember I don't remember the next line of that song, or I would have continued.
Oh.
Um,
Can't understand what they say when they
that's what it was. Yeah. Anyway, 15 actors who died. Vic Morrow. American actor Vic Morrow is a fairly well-known case of on-set tragedy. While filming Twilight Zone the movie in 1982, Morrow and two young children were acting in a scene for a Vietnam War sequence. Their characters were running from an oncoming Army helicopter. The actual helicopter was hovering a barely 24 feet off the ground above them when pyrotechnic explosions initiated nearby. When pyrotechnic explosions initiated nearby damaged the aircraft. The helicopter crashed on top of the three actors and killed them instantly, decapitating Morrow.
Jeez, this like that's tragic and all, but that only adds to the mythos and the kind of stuff surrounding the Twilight Zone.
Yeah. Too bad the movie didn't do better.
Yeah.
Apparently, it's not very good.
You mean it didn't kill? At the box office.
No. Number 14. Brandon Lee was shot and killed by a faulty fake gun in a Crow scene. I actually remember hearing about this as a kid.
Really?
Yeah. The Crow is a goth cult classic still beloved to this day. Unfortunately, the film took the life of young actor Brandon Lee, son of the late Bruce Lee. In one particular scene, Lee's character was supposed to walk into an apartment and discover his fiancée being attacked. Another actor was supposed to fire a gun at Lee as he entered. Rather than purchase dummy cartridges for the gun, the prop crew for the film decided to DIY it by putting real bullets into the gun and messing with the mechanics that fire it. Good job, guys. Unfortunately, this method can result in a bullet known as a squib load getting partially stuck in the barrel. This was the case when the scene was shot again after several takes, and the final shot dislodged the bullet, hitting Lee in the abdomen. After being rushed to the hospital and 6-hour surgery, Lee died. The shooting was ruled accidental. Yeah, I remember hearing about that when I was a kid, and it was so odd to me. It's like I'd never heard about something like that before.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what? Some guy died on a movie?
Right.
That's weird.
That doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Although I did hear, actually, this is just the other day, I heard that when you get shot, you don't actually fall over, or you don't have to. It's because we've seen it in the movies that everybody thinks, oh, you fall over when you get shot.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So you could actually just walk. I mean, you don't really realize it.
Yeah.
Your body doesn't go into shock for a couple of minutes.
No, I saw another video on YouTube.
Yeah.
It was a famous story. It was about an anchor and a cameraman who got shot while they were filming a segment live on the news. It was all over the news about a year ago or so. And the guy that was doing it, he was filming it live from his perspective.
Okay.
And so you see the gun and you see him shoot the woman, but it's like you think he missed because she doesn't react. She doesn't, he didn't, but it looks like he did.
I remember this one. Yeah.
It's interesting. Then they went into the whole science of it. Yeah. Anyway, number 13. This is turning real macabre real quick. John Eric Hexum accidentally shot himself in the head on set. The brief story of John Eric Hexum is the story of a famous heartthrob who almost was. While shooting for the 1984 television show Cover Up, Hexum's character used a .44 Magnum gun loaded with blanks in an action scene. And an actual gun with actual blanks was used for the scene. Impatient with the day's filming delays, Hexum decided to play a game of what he thought was a safe Russian roulette by unloading all but one blank into the gun. He apparently didn't grasp how blanks worked and fired the handgun into his temple.
Oh, jeez.
When blanks are fired from a handgun at point-blank range, the powder gases in the gun can cause blunt force trauma. When the blank fired in Hexam's temple, it shattered a portion of his skull, causing massive hemorrhaging. Unfortunately, Hexam died after many hours of surgery.
Wow. Not so lucky.
I mean, honestly, if you look at the guy, he doesn't look that bright.
Yeah.
But,
But still.
Number 12. Jim Caviezel, he didn't die. He's still alive.
Yeah.
Jim Caviezel was literally struck by lightning while portraying Jesus.
Jesus!
Not once, but twice. Talk about some seriously good luck. While filming the Mel Gibson's Passion of the Christ in 2004, actor Jim Caviezel was reportedly struck by lightning while reenacting Christ's crucifixion, and again while performing the Sermon on the Mount. Miraculously, he walked away without any serious injuries.
Okay. And they didn't take this, like, I'm not a big believer in signs here, but, like, they didn't take it as a sign. Like, maybe we shouldn't be making this film.
All right, that's it. We're done. Sorry, we're done.
My apologies. I did, okay, years ago, somebody asked me, they're like, oh, did you see this movie? And I'm like, no, but I read the book.
Yeah. Number 11. Charlize Theron was almost paralyzed while filming Aeon Flux.
That would have been a shame.
That would have been a shame. We're glad Charlize didn't sacrifice her ability to walk for Aeon Flux of all movies. Maybe Monster, but not Aeon Flux. Barely a week and a half into shooting the film, Charlize Theron had to do a backflip for a scene. She accidentally landed on her neck and was rushed to the hospital. She managed to herniate a disc in her vertebrae. I know how that is. Actually, we both know how that is. And the outlook from doctors was not good. Many believe that Theron, would have very limited mobility in the future due to the injury. I was almost paralyzed, said Theron. Production of Aeon Flux was paused for nearly 8 weeks.
Dang. And then she used like a stunt. I do like it when actors or actresses do decide to do their own stunts.
Yeah.
You know, it only adds to it, and you're like, wow, that's really that's some dedication. But at the same time, you know, for safety reasons and to stop like shooting, you know, because they've got to still pay the staff.
Yeah.
So, geez.
Number 10. Steve Irwin was killed by a stingray. Everybody knows about this one. In 2006, Steve Irwin's death rocked the lives of his family, friends, fans, and fellow animal lovers. It's hard to imagine the seemingly invincible crocodile hunter falling victim to any animal, but unfortunately, an incident involving a giant stingray took his life. During a pause in filming for the documentary series Ocean's Deadliest at a reef in, there you go.
Yeah.
I'm going to call it Ocean's Deadliest. At a reef in Queensland, Irwin decided to snorkel along the shore and capture footage for his daughter's show, Bindi the Jungle Girl. Oh, so it's her fault.
Oh, geez. That's horrible.
While in the shallow waters, Irwin encountered a 7-foot wide stingray. Apparently frightened, the stingray viciously attacked Irwin with its barbed tail. Unfortunately, one sharp stab pierced Irwin's heart and caused serious bleeding.
Although, not gonna lie, after seeing some of the crazy stuff that he did, especially when he's just like, ooh, that looks like it's pissed off. Let's get a little closer.
Yeah.
You're like, you're gonna die, like, somehow. And it was animal related.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody thought for sure it'd be like a snake bite or, something like that.
Alligators,
Alligators,
crocodile.
yeah. Nope. Number 9. Jackie Chan has a hole in his head from a roll.
What? From a bread roll?
From a bread roll.
That's not funny. I actually had a friend that lost an eye that way.
I can't tell if you're being serious or not. Okay. Jackie Chan's no stranger to doing his own stunts. He's a proficient Taekwondo, Hapkido, and Chinese martial arts expert, after all. However, some injuries came along with the territory of being a martial arts movie star. One such injury landed Chan a literal hole in his head. While filming the movie Armor of God in 1987, Chan attempted to jump from a high wall into a tree. The first take was no problem, but the second take was different. Chan fell over 20 feet to the ground on his head, fracturing his skull and sending a chunk of bone into his brain. Chan miraculously came out with no brain damage, despite blood literally leaking out of his ears on his way to the hospital.
But now nobody can understand what he says. They don't understand the words coming out of his mouth.
Today, he has a small hole in his head that is covered by a plastic plug.
Wow, that's okay. I know we're gonna get to trailers much later in the episode.
Yeah.
But did you see the trailer for Foreigner?
No.
That one, it looks pretty dang good.
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, his daughter gets killed by an explosion, and then he's after. He's a proficient expert in bomb experts and everything else. That he starts going after the guy who supposedly knows who's responsible for their deaths.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get to those. We got trailers coming up. Number 8. Ellen Burstyn was injured by a director's negligence for The Exorcist.
Ooh.
Ellen Bernstein's injury while filming The Exorcist is a perfect example of a director taking things too far at the expense of the cast and crew involved. For one particular scene, director William Friedkin told a stunt double to I'm assuming that says grab.
Yeah.
To grab Bernstein roughly around the set with a wire. Or is it Gran? I don't know. Bernstein made it clear that she was worried about the safety aspect of making it look real, quote unquote, as was the stuntman. Friedkin allegedly told the stuntman to not pull her so hard, but once the actress was out of earshot, re-instructed him to give it to her.
Oh, jeez.
Bernstein was pulled so violently that she flew across the room, landing on her coccyx. Despite her being in hysterical pain, Friedkin waited for the camera to get a good shot of her twisted in pain expression before calling an ambulance.
That's pretty messed up. I've heard of some of these older directors, Hitchcock in particular, using real birds on the set, and to get their initial reaction, or these other things. So that's not unheard of.
Yeah.
But
same with Stanley Kubrick.
Yeah,
he did the same type of stuff. Number 7, Martha Mansfield was burned alive on set. It's just keep coming, kids.
Yeah.
It's understandable that on-set safety precautions in the 1920s weren't ideal. We've come a long way in the past century without a doubt. Unfortunately, actress Martha Mansfield was victim of the times. While filming a Civil War drama called The Warrens of Virginia in 1923, Mansfield was taking a break in a car after filming a scene. A passerby lit a cigarette and flicked the match away, accidentally tossing it onto Mansfield's lap through the car window. She was immediately ignited, as the hoop skirt costume she was wearing was covered with a very flammable fabric. Lead actor Wilfrid Lytell, as well as the driver of the vehicle, struggled to put Mansfield's flaming costume out. They managed to exterminate the flames before they burned her face. Unfortunately, she sustained horrendous burns all over her body, which caused toxemia. She died less than a day after, at only 24 years old.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah. Number 6. A punch to Sylvester Stallone's sack almost killed him while filming Rocky IV. And no, not that sack.
I've doubled up in pain and fallen over from that too.
While filming a major boxing fight scene in Rocky IV between himself and actor Dolph Lundgren, Stallone told Lundgren to legitimately attempt to knock him out to make the scene seem more real. Stallone's cockiness almost cost him his life. Lundgren's punch to the chest cost Stallone's pericardial?
Sure.
All right. Sac, the fibrous bag that contains the heart and major blood vessels, to enlarge and swell. This swelling began to press dangerously against Stallone's heart, nearly strangling him. Luckily, Stallone knew something that felt seriously wrong and went to the hospital immediately, where he was quickly airlifted to an intensive care unit in Santa Monica to treat the life-threatening condition. He was hospitalized for nearly a week and a half and clearly survived.
He almost broke him.
Number 5. John Ritter collapsed on the set of 8 Simple Rules for Dating My Teenage Daughter. Fans of America's favorite sassy TV dad were shocked at the sudden death of 8 Simple Rules for Dating My Teenage Daughter actor John Ritter. While his untimely death wasn't the fault of any cast or crew, it did cause a stir in the world of medical negligence. In 2003, while rehearsing a scene for the show, Ritter allegedly began sweating and complaining of chest pains before collapsing on set. He was immediately rushed to a medical center across from the studio where he was misdiagnosed with a heart attack. In reality, Ritter suffered from a completely different condition called aortic dissection. His condition worsened until his doctors realized their mistake, but it was too late. He died during surgery.
That's why, I don't know, even with doctors, they call it what they do, a practice, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does make you wonder. Tyrone Power had a massive heart attack while filming. Tyrone Power was an American matinee idol and film actor, active through the 40s and 50s, admired for his stunning looks and diverse acting roles. Unfortunately, this mid-century heartthrob only made it to 44 years of age. While filming the 1958 film Solomon and Sheba, Power had a massive heart attack while filming a fencing scene with co-star George Sanders. He was transported to a nearby hospital, notably still in his King Solomon costume, where he died. Doctors claim his cause of death was a condition in which blood chokes the aorta and prevents one's ability to breathe.
Did you ever watch that one TV show, The 1,000 Different Ways to Die?
Mm-hmm.
There were some bizarre ones, and these are crazy.
Yeah.
So we're right up there with it.
Yeah. The one I remember from that, it was a guy was doing parkour on the roof of a building,
Mm-hmm.
and he was doing a flip, and there was a large metal pole like sticking out from the roof at an angle, and his head came down right onto the pole. Yeah. Number 3. Reminds me of a video I watched on YouTube. Just kidding. Number 3. Channing Tatum was almost burned alive while filming The Eagle, which is unfortunate because that film sucked. The Magic Mike's star career, maybe his life, could have been cut short in 2009. While filming one particular scene for The Eagle, Tatum had to wear a wetsuit and wade through very cold water in a river. To avoid hypothermia, the crew was told to mix boiling water and cold water from the river to pour it into Tatum's suit between takes. Unfortunately, a crew member forgot to mix the water during the last shot of the day and accidentally scalded Tatum with boiling water. Since Tatum was wearing a wetsuit, it was impossible to get away from the boiling water, which burned some of the skin off of his legs.
Jeez.
After being rushed to a hospital and pumped with morphine, Tatum managed to recover.
Okay, they might have embellished a little bit, saying, he almost burned alive. I mean, that's horrible, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It makes for a better story.
True. Number 2, the death of Bruce Lee. Beloved martial arts superstar Bruce Lee died a very untimely death at the age of 32. To this day, rumors and conspiracy theories about the legitimacy of his cause of death are still discussed. While dubbing for the film Enter the Dragon, Lee suffered from intense migraines and seizures before collapsing. After being rushed to a Hong Kong hospital, Lee was diagnosed with cerebral edema, a condition that causes serious brain swelling. While doctors were able to treat him for the condition, the cause of swelling, an allergic reaction to a painkiller, was unknown at the time. He died just over 2 months later.
Dang.
And then number 1, Robert Downey Jr., accidentally broke Halle Berry's arm in Gothica. If you didn't like how Robert Downey Jr. before,
yeah. One more reason.
One more reason. Remember the 2003 film Gothica? Outside of being one of the most hated movies ever, the film also cost Halle Berry a broken forearm. While portraying a psychologist wrongly placed in a mental hospital, Berry attempts to escape the clutches of an evil doctor played by Robert Downey Jr. While filming a physical struggle with Downey Jr., Berry attempted to make the scene look as real as possible. Unfortunately, she tried to force herself out of his grip with too much stamina and broke her ulna, one of the bones of the forearm. After only 3 weeks in recovery, Berry returned to finish the film. She said of the incident, "I knew it was broken instantly, and Robert knew it too because he heard the bone snap."
Jeez.
Yeah. So moral of this story, kids, if you do become an actor, try not to make things look too real, apparently. Okay, let's take a break. And when we come back, we're talking about Hellboy and R2-D2 and
Joss Whedon
and James Bond. So we got some good stuff coming up. So we'll be right back right after this.
Are you feeling nostalgic about your music listening needs?
Do you like the tonal quality that only a record can provide?
Then go check out Lavender Vinyl, located at 123 25th Street, Ogden, Utah.
Yeah, go talk to Kylie or Blake. They have a large selection of new and used records. They will also buy your old records, maybe the ones that are just sitting up there in the attic, gathering dust. And if you can't find anything, they'll be more than happy to pre-order it for you. Now, you can always find them at lavendervinyl@gmail.com. You can also check out their website, lavendervinyl.com, or give them a call on the phone, like a normal person, at 385-240-0336.
Be sure to tell them that World War G sent you. Now back to the episode.
And we're back.
Welcome.
All right.
So, the world's getting a new Hellboy reboot.
Yep.
Reboot director Neil Marshall has said that the film's likely R rating will help him take off the cuffs. The two previous films to feature the character, Del Toro's 2004 movie Hellboy and the same director 2008 sequel Hellboy: The Golden Army, were both rated PG-13. Here's the whole statement. Okay. We've been granted permission to do a R rating, which for me is just like taking the cuffs off. Marshall told the fellow filmmaker Mike Garris on the most recent episode of the podcast Postmortem, it's like, okay, so now we can just make the movie we want to make. It's not like I'm going to force it to be R rated, but if it happens to come out that way just because of because of my own sensibility, then fine. Nobody's going to stop us. So that's the main difference. The success of things like Deadpool and Logan have not hurt that cause. But also, when you go back to the original material, it's kind of bloody, so I'm going to embrace that. That's very, very true. Have you read any of the original Hellboy comics?
Yes.
They don't shy away from it. I mean, he's kind of witty and like funny and clever.
Yeah.
But it's definitely darker.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. And that's good. I mean, I think people think, oh, they're gonna do R rating, so it's gonna be overtly violent and all this stuff. I don't think so. When I think of a movie, if they want to do an R rating, I think they want to have more creative freedom. Mm-hmm. More than anything.
I don't like those films where just to get it PG-13, they throw in like an F word.
Yeah,
exactly. That it feels forced.
Yeah.
But if it just happens to be that way, then that's cool. But like knowing you have that freedom to do that, that's got to take the edge off.
Yeah, you can create the story you want to create without worrying about being neutered, like basically, in the process.
Feeling limited. You'll be happy to know that also David Harbour, from Stranger Things is going to be Hellboy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which that's pretty awesome. That's
And
a pretty good pick.
Yeah. He's a good actor.
Yeah.
All right. From Hellboy to R2D2. Original R2D2 prop sold at auction for $2.76 million.
Man.
Yeah. An original R2D2 prop used in several Star Wars films has sold for a staggering $2.76 million at auction. R2D2, along with his droid counterpart C-3PO, is without question one of the most iconic characters in the Star Wars universe. Along with C-3PO, R2D2, the droid duo have the distinction of the only characters to appear in all 8 of the Star Wars films released so far, including a notable cameo last year in Rogue One. Since Star Wars debuted more than 40 years ago in theaters, replicas of R2D2 naturally have found their way to collectors in the form of action figures and remote control toys. And rare is the opportunity that anybody comes close to owning the real thing. But according to the UK's Daily Mail, one collector with very deep pockets can now lay claim to owning one of the original droids. And they've shelled out an extraordinary amount of money for it. The report says the R2D2 unit was sold Wednesday in an auction by Calabasas, California-based auction house Profiles and History for $2.76 million to an unidentified collector. The R2D2 prop was reportedly assembled from components in the classic Star Wars trilogy and used in the prequel trilogy films Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, and Episode 2, Attack of the Clones. How this managed to sell for $2.76 million, I'm not sure, because it's a prequel R2.
Yeah.
In 6 of the Star Wars films, R2D2 was operated by actor Kenny Baker.
If money wasn't an option, is there something not just necessarily from the Star Wars universe, but just in the film world itself? Is there a particular piece that you'd buy?
Maybe Michael Keaton's Batman suit from the first one, or maybe one of Christopher Reeve's Superman suits.
Yeah.
An original Ninja Turtles costume from the 1990 movie.
Oh, that would be pretty cool. I'm thinking bigger here, and I would probably want Serenity from Firefly.
Oh, okay.
The whole ship. I would like have a bedroom, a kitchen, it would be great. But even just a lightsaber, I know that's like a step down, but that would be pretty sweet. Like, Luke Skywalker's original lightsaber.
No, I love going again back to YouTube and looking at some of these old props that people have. It's really cool.
They used to, back in the day, they would just, like, after the movie was over, they were just like, okay, here, everybody take whatever you want.
Yeah. Or just throw them away.
Yeah. Now, seriously, because seeing how much they go for, and if it becomes a cult classic type of movie, they're going to sell that and make a ton of cash.
There's a guy who has a warehouse full of old props and costumes and stuff.
I've heard legends of this.
Yeah. And the way he got it was, just like you were saying back in the day, people just throw stuff away. And what he would do, he would go around to movie studios and say, do you have anything you need hauled off? I'll do it for free. And like, oh yeah, actually we do. We have all these old costumes and props, crap just laying around here. Yeah, you take it. Go ahead.
The only problem with that is, don't you have to have some sort of identification that this piece is authentic? I mean, if you're just collecting it for yourself, then no big deal.
I mean, he's getting it from the movie studio, so you would think.
Right, but you still need, I guess maybe like a picture on, of that item on the set or on, I don't know. I'm sure they can kind of go back and look at those films if they're, legit. Okay, it has a little teeny rip here in this costume. Okay, there it is.
Yeah.
But.
Yeah. But I'll, it'd be cool to own an original prop of something.
A stormtrooper.
Yeah. All right.
So speaking of directors, Over the course of his career, Josh Whedon helms Buffy the Vampire Slayer, co-wrote Toy Story, I didn't know that, created Firefly, and wrote and directed The Avengers. He also did like a ton of other things, Cabin in the Woods, you know. Let's see. But he also co-wrote a folk album. One of those feels out of place, but yes, Wheaton really does have an album you can listen to right now. Don't expect to hear him pick up a guitar and sing, though. In the collaboration with Austin, Texas musician Shawnee Kilgore, he provided the lyrics. What's also interesting is how this partnership came to be. In 2014, Kilgore created a Kickstarter campaign to fund her album, A Long and Precious Road. At the time, Wheaton happened to be browsing the site and came across and enjoyed the project, so he donated. His donation entitled him to a custom song written for him, and in their communications, Wheaton asked Kilgore if she would like to do a collaboration of an album. As you may have figured, they did, and now we have Back to Eden, a 6-track EP on gentle folk. Man, that is awesome. That is way cool.
That is pretty cool.
I know that I was gonna say one of his other claims to fame is Dr. Horrible Sing Along Blog, and he did write the score for it.
Yeah.
So I know he's also done another musical. Wasn't it like a adaptation of like Pride and Prejudice or something? I want to say, or it was one of those famous ones that they did a remake that I don't know didn't do so well, but he provided some of the music for.
He's obviously a talented writer, so it makes sense.
And it's also a way for him to kind of I like this type of like genre, this type of music. Let me do this without, but man, it's attaching his name to the project.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. It would be one thing if he kind of just said like, here, let me write the music and you go ahead and, sing it.
Yeah.
But where that's going to sell.
So while you were reading that, I was looking over on the side at some of these bullet points they have.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently, nerds, get ready, LeVar Burton has a new podcast, and it's like Reading Rainbow for adults.
What?
Yep. I just saw. This is breaking news, people.
You heard it here first.
One of the numerous things I miss about being a kid, aside from mandatory nap time and not having any idea what the word cholesterol meant, is being read to. Being able to close your eyes and listen allows your imagination to roam in a different way than if you're the one doing the reading. You can get a similar experience these days from audiobooks, but LeVar Burton has his own approach to reading to adults, and it's perfect for those of us from the Reading Rainbow generation. Yes, I said perfect. We learned about Burton's new podcast, LeVar Burton Reads, thanks to Bustle. Burton is using the podcast format to read short stories from all genres, with a little music and original sound design sprinkled in. The trailer will give you an idea of the calming effect of Burton's voice and a snippet of the first short story, Kin, by Bruce McAllister. I'm going to play it for you now.
All right.
Let's take a listen.
Hi, I'm LeVar Burton, and my new podcast is LeVar Burton Reads. In each episode, I'll handpick a different piece of short fiction and read it to you.
Say
We're
what?
going to work from all different genres, from fantasy to mystery to comedy, and of course, my go-to, science fiction. Throw in a little music, some original sound design, and each story will be a whole new adventure.
Oh, I got that
In the first
reference.
episode, I've chosen one of my favorite pieces called Kin by Bruce McAllister. It's a great story about a young boy who contacts an alien assassin in the hopes of saving his sister's life.
I'm seriously going to check this out. What am I doing recording this episode?
Right.
In his eyes, the boy could see the black synthetic skin the alien wore as protection against alien atmospheres. Under that suit, ropes of muscles and tendons coiled.
It really takes you back, doesn't it?
Even when the alien was still. In the doorway, the long neck had not been extended, but he knew what it could do. when it telescoped forward as it could instantly. The head tipped up in reflex, and the jaws opened.
I'm starting to nod off here.
The long talons.
This is fantastic.
Yeah, right?
You can put me to sleep.
That's how I am now going to go to sleep every night. I used to do like white noise. I'm going to start listening to this podcast.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Black noise.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right. So let's take another break. And then when we come back, there's been a crap ton of trailers that have dropped. So we're going to talk about those and just the good with the bad and everything in between. So we'll be right back right after this. And we're back. It's time to talk about some trailers.
There's trailer trash.
Yep.
The good, the bad, and the ugly.
Yeah, several trailers have dropped this week. And so we thought, well, might as well talk about them. First one I want to talk about. Let's see. You sent me this. Let's save Jumanji because I have a lot to say about that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we have Pitch Perfect 3, which it's starting to wear thin. I'm a big fan of the first one. I actually really enjoy the first one. The second one, they Cars 2'd it.
Yeah, so I'm hoping with they Cars 3 it,
Yeah.
this third one.
Pitch Perfect 3. Oh, by the way, I saw Cars 3.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, I watched that one and Fast and the Furious 8.
Okay, Cars 3, it wasn't half bad though, right?
No, it wasn't.
Yeah.
I was pleasantly surprised because like I was saying, they went back to basics.
Mm-hmm. Racing cars?
Racing cars. Yeah. It's about training. It's about an underdog. It's about getting, being your best and all that.
And they did make him feel like an underdog again.
Yeah.
Because they've got these like more sleek, faster vehicles, and he's not quite as fast as he once was.
Yeah. And yeah, it was.
I think they'll make a fourth one because they kind of like opened it up for that.
They did.
Is it gonna be a spoil? I'll say it right now. Spoiler alert! Like he's now a trainer.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if they'll continue. I mean,
now that they've got young blood in there.
Yeah. I mean, if it makes money and they can sell toys, I mean, of course, they'll probably continue. But I don't know. I mean,
Ice Age, it didn't turn out so well for them when they kept going.
That's true. But I saw a funny thing online that said we haven't yet got a sequel to The Incredibles, but we now have 3 Cars movies.
That's very true.
Yeah. But yeah, it was definitely after Cars 1, then it goes Cars 3, and a distant third is Cars 2.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's good. Out of 4 tires. Yeah, I'd give it. I'm probably solid 3, which I think is what you gave it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think I did 4 and a spare tire.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. I also saw Fast and Furious 8, Fate of the Furious. I'm somewhat embarrassed to say that I've seen every single one of these films.
They kind of went a different direction after 5.
Yeah.
They beefed it up. Yeah, they revamped the whole franchise. Wasn't that when they brought in The Rock?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because 1, 2, 3, 4 were about street racing and.
Well, 4 we kind of tend to forget Tokyo Drift.
Drift. Yeah.
Yeah, that drifted away.
Yes, it
Was
did.
bad.
And then 5, 6, 7, and 8, they became basically superheroes.
Mm-hmm.
These people.
Oh, speaking of which, we were talking about this before the episode. When Vin Diesel, he just punches, elbows that thing. I mean, okay, they've got all these cars surrounding him, pulling him different directions, and then he just elbows the door. It goes flying off.
Just elbows the door. That's what you do. You can just punch off a door.
Not try to open it and then have it fly off.
No. And then there was another part. You saw it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that other part where the submarine is coming out and they're racing in front of it.
Yeah.
And the one it shoots a missile at them, and it's on the ice, and the Rock is like leaning out of the car and just like punches the missile away.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh. It's so ridiculous.
It's way over the top. And the direction that they went with it, where it's all about family. And
Yeah. And then with the whole baby and everything. And,
that was kind of a funny part with the baby when he's getting him off the plane.
Jason Statham and the
Mhm.
baby. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was good.
Puts the headphones on to
Yeah.
listen to some music, some chipmunks.
And apparently, there's going to be a spin-off movie where it's going to be Dwayne Johnson and Jason Statham, their
Really?
characters.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're going to have their own movie, which again, I will go see and I will probably enjoy.
It is kind of mind-numbingly fun.
It is.
It's still about, at its roots, it's about fast cars and fast women.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah. But out of 5, I don't even know, steroid injections, I'm assuming.
yeah.
I would give it probably 2.5.
Really? That
Yeah.
high?
Yeah. I mean, just on the merit of it's entertaining and you can go and shut your brain off and not have to think about it.
Yeah, because if you start thinking too much, okay, she blocked off a whole street just so she could pretend to be working on a car so that he would walk by and to show how much power
Yeah.
she has.
Yeah. If you think about it too much, nothing makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, back
And
to
this
the.
has been kind of quite a few tangents.
It has, but
Yeah.
that's okay.
That's the way we work.
We're keeping the audience on their toes, so
They never know what they're going to get.
that's right.
Potato.
Yeah, Pitch Perfect 3. I saw the trailer. It's
Nah. Yeah.
it's fine.
Didn't need it, but
No.
whatever.
You don't need it. I do love me some Anna Kendrick.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
So I'll probably go see it. I'll probably see it at the cheap theater. I'll probably see it for her.
Yeah.
But the premise is, where are the Bellas now? You know, what are they doing now that the whole acapella thing is done? So then they all come back together for one last competition.
Hurrah. One
Yeah.
final hurrah.
Yeah, it's okay.
Inhumans.
Inhumans. Yeah, this is the new ABC superhero show. It follows the Inhumans, which are a group of metahumans or humans that were
on the moon.
Yeah. They got their abilities from this stuff called the Terrigen Mist. It has Black Bolt and Medusa and
Which Black Bolt, if you're unfamiliar with him, like, you might be wondering in the trailer why he's not speaking, but if he were to speak, I mean, you saw a little glimpse of it, like when that guy hit him, he
kind of
breathed or
grunted.
exhaled,
Yeah.
and it flew, like that car goes flying away.
Yeah.
If he speaks, he could like level mountains.
Yeah.
So that's why even in the trailer when they're talking about the Silent King, why are we
Mhm.
following him? They want to go to Earth. They're rightful, because they're probably pretty tired of looking at the moon. There's
Yeah.
not a lot to see there.
And I was thinking, that's got to be like the best role to have,
Mm-hmm.
because you don't have to memorize any lines.
Vin Diesel, I am Groot.
There you go.
Done. That's another one.
Yeah, but it looks. I was on the fence
Mm-hmm.
with this. I'm
Still have your reservations?
no, I've always been kind of lukewarm to the Inhumans. I can
Mhm.
take them or leave them, but I don't know. I think it looks interesting. They have Lockjaw, the giant teleporting dog.
Mm-hmm.
So I was happy to see that.
Yeah.
But I'll definitely give it a watch. I'll give it a few episodes.
I don't think that they wanted to reveal Medusa, her hair
yeah.
ability just yet. And although the only problem is whenever I see Maximus, I keep seeing Reek from Game of Thrones.
Right, yeah.
That's all I see.
Yeah. Then this one, I just watched right before we started, The Greatest Showman. This is Hugh Jackman as P.T. Barnum, and apparently it's a musical.
Coming out around Christmas.
Mhm.
Kind of like what they did with Les Mis.
Yeah, how about that? But this one actually has spoken words, it seems. So, I mean, look, I loves me some Hugh Jackman.
Right.
So I'm gonna go see this, and
I was wondering what he did after, like, Logan. What his career would look like.
Yeah, it's gonna be musicals, and I'm all right with that. Look, we've established in the past that we're a fan of musicals, and I'm a fan of Hugh Jackman, and so of course I'm gonna go see this.
The only problem is this looks way too close to like that Hail Caesar one, a little bit. You know, I mean, it's where it's got a big cast, a lot of like big names. Zach Efron.
Zac Efron.
I don't know. I get them all confused. Okay, even though they don't look.
Yeah, they look exactly the same. Zac Efron, Zach Galifianakis, which is which?
Yeah. It's got a big cast, and I don't know.
To me,
it could be lackluster.
To me, it looks more in the vein of like the Prestige or the Illusionist, because it's kind of set in that same time period.
Yeah.
Which I'm finding out that I really like movies set in that time period.
Water for Elephants.
Yeah. Well, I saw Water for Elephants.
Did you?
It was,
I didn't watch
it was okay. But I mean, it's Hugh Jackman singing and dancing. I'm on board.
Maybe if you got to see them sing, because it only had that one song that took up the whole trailer.
The whole trailer, yeah.
So maybe you actually got to hear him sing, which we already know he can sing, but a couple of different songs would have been nice.
Okay. So, Good Time trailer. I'm not familiar.
No, neither
with that one. Insecure. Looks like an HBO. I'm not familiar with that one. Marshall. Apparently action-packed film about Supreme Court Justice Thurgood Marshall. More specifically, about how Marshall became known as a defense lawyer, representing wrongly accused black men. Chadwick Boseman stars as Marshall. It comes out October 13th, and it looks like they're going for an Oscar.
Yeah.
It'll be one of those where people ask, "Hey, did you see Marshall?" You go, "Oh, yeah, totally."
Yeah. Hidden Figures-esque.
Yeah.
What was that Butler one?
Oh, The Butler.
Yeah, The Butler. Oh,
yeah.
There you go.
The Foreigner, which you were talking about.
This one has potential. Jackie Chan, his wife and daughter die. He accuses Pierce Brosnan of saying, "Hey, you know the killers, like release the names." And he's like, "No, I don't know who they are, but it looks kind of suspicious." And so then he starts taking out everybody and letting them know, basically, "Hey, I'm gonna blow you up and kill you if you don't give me this information." Which it was good to see, because you also still see Jackie Chan doing some of his own stuff. Flipping a lot more, but to me this reminded me a little bit of like Taken, where Liam Neeson, he's fairly athletic, he can still do like quite a bit, but it's using that old man strength,
right? Yeah,
kind of a thing. So it'll be an interesting role for Jackie Chan.
Yeah, I'm watching it right now, and it looks, most of his movies are very over the top and.
Is it Rush Hour?
Yeah. Or crazy martial arts movies, stuff like that. This one looks a lot more gritty, a lot more realistic, but they still managed to throw some of his stunts in there.
Right. Wait until you get to see the end, where it looks kind of like he's in the backwoods when they finally go after him. Yeah. And there's some guerrilla-esque war tactics that he's using.
Plus, you got a bearded Pierce Brosnan, and that's good for everybody. So, that not too bad. I'm gonna have to watch that with sound and watch that whole thing later. Next, we have Columbus. The story behind this film is kind of neat, according to the Kogonada. Okay. Its director became pretty well known for publishing film essays online, and then parlayed that into actually making a movie. Columbus debuted at Sundance earlier this year, to some very good reviews. And now we're finally getting a look at it. The film will be playing in limited screenings throughout the year. And it tells you nothing about what the film is.
One that you're probably a little bit more excited about, Heroes of the Empire.
Mm-hmm.
And the 501 Legion. Yeah,
the 501st. If you don't know, the 501st is a group of
stormtroopers.
Yeah,
well, they're cosplayers.
They're Star Wars cosplayers.
They take it to the extreme, though.
Yes, and they've gotten permission from Lucasfilm to do this, and so they go around to different charities to raise money in costume,
Make a wish.
Yeah, stuff like that.
They've done quite a few different things.
So it looks like this one is following the UK chapter. A group of Star Wars fans with serious dedication to costuming. Rather than focus solely behind the scenes on how their outfits are made, Heroes of the Empire appears to focus more on the why of costuming. There's no release date yet.
This one looks a little bit kind of like Bat Boy or one of those films.
Yeah.
A good feel good.
Next one, Gook. Okay.
That's a racial slur for Korean Americans.
Yes, it is. My apologies. I'm just reading what it said.
Yeah.
Justin Chan's new film follows a pair of Korean American brothers as a young black girl and a young black girl.
Wow.
Oh man.
That's awesome.
Keep digging that hole, Troy. Dig that hole. In the lead up to the LA riots. The film looks funny and personal and seems to turn a big event into a series of intimate exchanges, which it won some positive reviews out of Sundance for. The film comes out August 18th. There you go.
Unfortunately, a lot of these films, because I did watch a YouTube video where they were talking about 15 films that you probably got overlooked because like in 2017, and a lot of the reasons is because it came out around the same time as one of these big smash hits, and it just kind of flew under the radar and didn't get the proper praise it actually deserved.
Yeah. Then this next one, and then we'll get to Jumanji. Polaroid, or no, Say Cheese and Die. No, I'm sorry, Polaroid. Yeah, that's what it is.
Unfriended. No, wait, no. Okay.
Yeah. All they say is this movie's about a haunted Polaroid camera.
I did watch the trailer before. It kind of looks pretty dang cheesy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like Final Destination. That's what it reminded me of.
Right. Where after they've taken, or even like the, what was that one? It was a Heebie-Jeebies where if you say his name, or even Slender Man-esque, where if you say his name, then he starts appearing and killing everybody and.
But yeah, I mean, this is they find this old camera, and then you take a picture, and whoever you take a picture of ends up dying.
Well, because they start seeing that like some sort of shadowy figure in the background. Yeah. And then even if you try to destroy it or burn it, like they did in the trailer, it starts burning the people in the
person. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess if you took the picture and put it in water, people would drown.
Huh.
I don't know.
Speaking of people being,
or you could pee on it.
Yeah. That's like one of those. It's basically like having a little what are those dolls called?
Voodoo doll.
Voodoo doll. Yeah. With pictures.
Yeah. I mean, look, R.L. Stine did this with his Goosebumps book, Say Cheese and Die.
Mm-hmm.
Are You Afraid of the Dark did this exact plot.
Now they're trying to bring it to the big screen.
Yeah. And then the last, and maybe least, Jumanji.
Well,
Welcome
I did
to the
say
jungle.
The good, the bad, and the ugly.
Yes. And here's the ugly. Holy crap, this film looks stupid.
It looks pretty bad. I might still go see it.
I have seen every film with The Rock in it. Every film he's done, I have seen.
Mm-hmm.
This may be one I do not watch.
I didn't watch that Tooth Fairy one.
Oh, Tooth Fairy. Did I see that one? I don't remember. I mean, I saw The Game Plan, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
And I saw Escape to Witch Mountain, that remake. I don't know.
So the basic premise of this one is these students get detention. You know, the Breakfast Club gets detention, and
Power Rangers.
they're downstairs and in the basement cleaning out this whole basement area, and they come across this video game by the same name as the board game, Jumanji. So they all decide to pick characters, and then once they pick their characters, they get sucked into the video game, into this jungle setting, and have to try to survive.
Hence the name Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle.
Mm-hmm.
Now here's my thing. They could have had this exact same movie and not have it be a video game.
Yeah.
Have them find the actual board game and start to play it and get sucked into it,
But
like Robin Williams did.
To Jumanji, yeah, it seems almost sacrilegious.
I know, and look, I went a few rounds on this online. I'm not saying the first Jumanji is some great
classic,
some great American film, but it had character and it had heart and it had its charm. This just looks ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing redeeming about.
And
from what I see in this,
the majority of the people that are going to go see this movie probably have never seen Jumanji.
Probably not.
Right? These little kids
Probably
that are going to
not.
be watching it?
Yeah.
No. The one part that really gets me, I don't mind The Rock. I don't mind Kevin Hart. The one that, because they have good chemistry together.
Yeah.
Central Intelligence, was actually pretty funny. Jack Black playing the girl. That's going to get old pretty dang fast.
Real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. The teenage girl her avatar ends up being Jack Black and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. So
and
now
hilarity.
Right.
Hilarity ensues.
Let the hair that's what I was just going to say, too. The words right out of my mouth, like quite literally.
But it just does not look good. And, I was searching the comment sections on when they showed this video, and people are hating it.
So how about we do this? Before the movie, I don't think we've ever done this before, but before the movie actually comes out, let's give our predictions on what we think the Rotten Tomatoes are going to be at. We already know it's going to be bad. We need to write these down.
Let me write it down.
Yeah.
You want to do that now or you want to wait?
I'm ready now, I think.
Okay. Go ahead.
Are we going to play it like Vegas where you can do the over or under, or are we just going to... I feel like there should be some... Maybe we'll save this, and then when it gets a little bit closer, we can give our predictions, because we'll have some sort of either like punishment or reward attached to it. So
we can do that.
Let's hold off for right now. But
yeah, I know that they say you're not supposed to really judge a movie by its trailer and blah blah blah, but no, I'm judging it, and it looks like crap. I did appreciate the line that Karen Gillan had where she was wondering, why am I in a half shirt and shorts in the jungle?
Mm-hmm.
I appreciated that.
Yeah.
It was kind of a dig at Laura Croft.
Yeah.
So like, all right. That I can get behind that.
Behind her? Or behind that?
Well,
Oh, there was also another trailer, speaking of trailers, that we were going to talk about, Death Note.
Oh, Death Note.
Yeah.
Yes.
Are you familiar with the manga, or you did watch the whole entire series?
No, but I am familiar with it. I'm familiar with the premise and all that.
It's got a great premise, and at its core, it's pretty awesome. Like the anime, a lot of people rave about this one, and everybody's seen it. My problem is towards the end. I mean, it's really cool to see some of these guys kind of have this standoff, a battle of the wits, but then it takes a different turn for about 10 episodes, and then it finally gets back to what it originally was. So it's kind of like Breaking Bad, where the 5th season got kind of stagnant, but then the build up and the end made it all worth it, and you forget about it.
Yeah.
But this trailer actually, I mean, it looks pretty good, except for it's probably going to get some flack because it doesn't have an Asian lead.
Yeah. I mean,
and there's enough Asian actors out there that could play. You know what I mean? That can act. So,
are you sure that kid's not Asian?
I don't believe so. Not, I don't know, IMDb it or something.
Yeah, I could probably do that. But yeah, I mean, Death Note, for those who don't know, basically, this kid finds this book called Death Note, and whoever name you write in the book ends up dying.
Correct. You're also able to, I mean, there's some more rules, and it gets into this, that you can specify how long it is before they die, like on such and such date, or you can also get more specific with how they die.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And yeah, the demon in here, what's his name?
Shoot, I was just
Ryu,
I want to say.
Yes, it's something like that. Anyway, he's played by Willem Dafoe,
which is a great choice.
which is perfect.
Oh yeah. I hear the Green Goblin every time I hear his voice in this trailer.
I mean, it's creepy. It's it looks a little dark and unsettling.
I'm glad they didn't go cartoonish way.
Yeah.
They show because that picture that they show what he looks like, this demon looks like, that's pretty spot on to how it looks in the anime.
So yeah, I mean, it looks pretty good. I'll be checking it out.
Although, okay, there's like 50 something episodes, and for them to try to condense it down into like an hour and a half movie, that's going to be pretty dang difficult. Although it can get rid of a lot of like the other fluff, I think you're not going to have. So one of the coolest parts was because you don't know, unless you don't know the person's name, you can't kill them. You have to write down their entire name. Okay. So Q, the head lead on this FBI agency, basically, he doesn't reveal his name, but then he starts playing cat and mouse with this kid, because he's just like, oh, I can figure out who it is. I narrowed it down to this region. I've narrowed it down to this city. I know I'm coming for you. I will find you. Yeah. So he makes a deal with this demon to Rook. That was his name. Makes a deal with him to be able to see their name, and it gets more and more intense. And that's what I feel like they're going to leave out a lot of. But as a standalone film and their own adaptation, I'm okay with it.
So is it going to be like a film, or is it going to be?
It's going to be a film. Okay. Not like if they were doing it one season.
Yeah, that's what I
feel like that would be a lot better. I thought it was just going to be a film.
Oh, you're probably right. Yeah, let me look up really quick here.
Light and L are going to be available.
Well, the kid's name is Laketh Stanfield as L, so I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, Willem Dafoe is Ryuk. Yep.
Not. I'm trying to see who, like, the actor's who's playing Light. No, he's pretty Caucasian.
Yeah.
Yep.
Although I'm not really hearing any backlash though, yet.
They're just glad that it's being made.
Because when what's that movie Scarlett Johansson was just in?
Ghost in the Shell.
Ghost in the Shell.
Yeah.
Yeah, just the very first trailer, people were screaming that they should have had an Asian person play that role.
Right.
Same with Iron Fist, though that's all other thing.
I feel like with this is because you have to be a fan of it to have seen it.
Right.
And, where it's an anime, you're not going to have as much backlash. Although, I mean, Ghost in the Shell is still an anime. I don't know. It's like a less familiar one.
All right.
Yeah, that actor, he's in Fault in Our Stars and Paper Town.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's got a good pedigree going for him.
Grew up in New York City.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he's probably pretty Caucasian. All right. Let's wrap up this thing. Here's where you can find us. You can listen to all of our episodes at worldwarg.podbean.com. You can also hear us on iTunes and the Google Play Store. Just search World War G. On the social media, you can find us at facebook.com/worldwargpodcast. You can also find us on Twitter and Instagram, though we haven't been doing a whole lot of that lately, at WWG Podcast. You can find our merchandise, our t-shirts, at shop.spreadshirt.com/worldwarg. You can also email us anytime,
day or night,
at worldwgpodcast@gmail.com. So, this has been World War G episode 134. That has been AJ.
That has been Troy.
Stay geeky, my friends, and I want you to punch me in the sack.
Thanks, Troy. Hi, everybody. This is Sean Ray.
And John Irons.
And we're the hosts of Cosmic Potato, the Super Fan Talk podcast. We're a show that has a little bit of everything.
Yeah, we talk about movies and TV and cartoons, entertainment news, and every show has a different theme.
That's right. We might discuss anything from our favorite bad movies to who would win in a fight between C-3PO and the Tin Man from The Wizard of Oz.
Yeah. That was episode 41, a classic. You can download that episode and all of our other episodes on iTunes and Stitcher. We're on Podcast Addict and, of course, on our website, cosmicpotato.com.
It's special guests and movie news and geeky nerddom and nerdy geekery and lightsabers and Time Lords and Ninja Turtles all the way down. So check out Cosmic Potato, the Super Fan Talk podcast.